Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Samp and Chance Wrestling. I'm your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always, my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special returning guest, the co-founder of the Wrestling Society Network, where you can also find our program and a plethora of programs and content. The WSN Network, man, you can find it on Roku, Apple TV, you name it, Spotify. And guys, we have the co-founder, one of the co-founders, Mr. Professor Bear, all the way from Tennessee. Professor, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about y'all?
Can't complain, man. It's I don't know if you get changes in weather, but now it's starting to get a little chilly.
Oh yeah, yeah. We from last weekend it really hit and I'm like, oh yeah, it's that time of the year.
Yeah,
So
it's coming.
so does Tennessee get cold?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were in that part of America where it's always warm.
Oh no.
Ah,
Uh we get cold and we get snow every now and then. So
okay. Well, hey, the geography lessons. You not only will you learn wrestling here at Samp and Chance, you'll also learn about climate around this country, which is amazing. Because I mean, Chance and I, we live about what would you say, about an hour apart?
Yeah, about that 45 minutes hour. Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour given traffic. And you know what the funny thing is, Bear? It could be raining where he is and sunny where I am.
yeah. What
Insane.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, here in Knoxville, it could be I live about 15 minutes from my mother
Hmm.
and I it could be raining over her house all day and not one drop over at mine.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, boys. I tell you what, before we get into discussions and stuff, I thought maybe we'd start with this. Why don't we break down and give our predictions and our thoughts on this upcoming Saturday night's main event card? I'll be honest, man, and gentlemen, very honestly, I'm looking at this card: Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Dominic in a triple threat now with Penta and Rusev because of what happened last night on Raw. Four matches, but man, this card looks really good. I'm on
It's
paper right now. I'm impressed. I'm not saying I'm overly excited, but I don't mind it. I'm actually happy with it. Your guys on the card itself.
Go ahead, Bear.
it's a stacked card for Saturday night. I think that we're gonna get one title change, and I think that'll be Tiffany dropping her title. But I'm definitely looking forward to it for a change.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How about you, Chance? What do you think?
Honestly, I mean, it's not it's the decent card on paper. It doesn't mean it's going to deliver. I'm not too thrilled about CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Just for the simple fact is both of them, CM Punk can barely move in the ring now. He's an old, broken down man. He still has a great character. So from the match perspective, I'm not that excited to watch those two guys wrestle on Saturday Night Main Event. I don't know if that's the best choice to put those guys out there. You got the casual tune in, and they're going to see. Jay doesn't move that well anymore either. They're both slowing down, so I'm not excited from that perspective, to be honest, about the main event. Hopefully, I'm wrong, and hopefully it delivers, and I'm proven wrong. But I'm not too thrilled for it personally.
Fair enough, fair enough. But I think that CM Punk Jey Uso match was financially decided upon. It wasn't really decided upon the participants. Well, in terms of their skill ability, but it was based on the participants in the
Yeah, I
sense
get
that
it.
they draw the most money, right? And when you talk about the casual fan chance, most of the casual fans are eating,
Yeah, Use was popular. I ain't denying that. Yeah, it's got
right?
a
So I
big
mean
following.
that's basically what it is. I mean, the placeholder is Braun, but
Mm-hmm.
from what I've read and from what I've understood, they didn't want to do it this way. They're waiting for a bigger stage, a WrestleMania, something else to put the title on him. They didn't want to do it here, which is why they've kind of kept them out. And if you looked at them on Raw last night, Braun Breaker had a match with LA Knight. And I'll tell you what, man, those two, as dominant as the Brawns are, they looked very susceptible last night. Like they won, they got the job done, but it looked like it was laboring for them. He actually had to work for it this time, where he's just been running buckshot. So it's almost like they're bringing him down a little bit at the same time, but keeping him strong. So I can see what they're
I don't
doing with
know. I
him.
don't know if that's the case. I would say that he's fighting LA Knight, who's taller than him. just as built as him, and they're going to make LA Knight keep him strong when he loses to Braun, not weakening Braun, but keeping. I think it's more of keeping LA Knight strong. How I took it.
Well, fair enough. I mean,
Because he
potentially
just
either
came
way.
out there and challenged CM Punk on the promo there, and then he ended up losing. So they want to keep LA Knight strong.
Yeah, no, for sure. And LA Knight, they put on a great match. I'll give them that. It was really fun. I mean, for what it was. Out of all the older guys that you've been mentioning here, I think LA Knight is one of those guys that's still moving better than all of them. Bear, your thoughts? See how I did that?
Yeah, I did. I think that they have a real main event problem because look, and I'm going to be real about it. LA Knight is, it's no, I really don't want to make anybody think I'm discouraging anybody I'm talking about, but LA Knight has been overrated for the last year and a half now. When he was hot, they didn't do anything with him, and now they're trying to loop him back. He's a mid Carter at best now. Look at Jay. Jay, he got his claim. He got his moment in the sun. Now they're running back him because what's going to happen is him and Jimmy, and they're trying to get Jimmy up to that place where Jay was and Roman is, and they're going about it the long, painful, crappy way that's not going to make Jimmy look good, and that's just in my opinion. Now you got the two for the title with Jay and CM Punk. CM Punk has no business winning the championship at this stage. He should be always that, oh man, we need a main event player, but he can't win it. That's all he needs to do because one, I don't trust his health. He could trip over a shoestring and be out for 6 months. Two, that with Seth gone, that shows you another hole that they have in the main event spot. They do not want to push Braun to that level, like you said now, which is kind of a shame because he could do so much, even with an early win, he could do so much more. And they're trying to hold it. They didn't hold it when they let some of these other guys get it again. I, I I guess my problem is WWE has so much talent and they will not give the girls and guys who need a good run a good run. And my last thing is it shows where when you don't have a mid card, a strong mid card, you're in trouble when the big guys go out, aka Seth, aka look at Jacob over in SmackDown. He's out. There's a problem because they were going to move away from Drew, but now they have to pivot back real quick. That's WWE's biggest problem. Their mid card division is not strong enough. They do not give these guys and girls enough activity to make you look at them as they could do it. They could do it.
Bear, I got a question for both of you guys. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Bear. I agree with everything you said, pretty much spot on. So my question is, Triple H has been in charge for 2 years now, roughly, right? So, what stars has he created? I don't think he's created any stars yet. Because if he did, like you just said, the mid card would be full. We wouldn't have to have a 47, 48-year-old CM Punk all the time out there. Like you said, trip over his own shoes. He's hurt. They don't have the young talent coming up. What stars has this man created? Because we were all told how smart he is, how brilliant he is, how better WWE is under him. And the ratings are going down, and there's a lack of star power. So I'm asking both of you guys, who has he created as a star? So maybe I'm missing something since he's took over. Who has Triple H made a star?
I mean, if you look at everything he did in NXT and the entire NXT roster, that's up like the main roster that's up there right now is all his.
What stars has he created? Like, name some stars that are stars that he's created.
Well, Braun Breaker.
Okay, one.
Tiffany
Who else?
Yeah, Tiffany.
Okay, two.
He's look at
Bailey, Charlotte.
Bailey was from Vince McMahon data.
No. They all came from NXT though.
But it doesn't matter. McMahon made them a star.
But he made them there though.
You could say Bailey was made before NXT. No, I'm talking about who has he brought under his wing that he's made a star.
EO.
Okay, I'll give you three. Okay, we got three.
Well, and here's the point, and I understand where you're going with, but here's the point about that. Everybody's talking about, well, Triple H was going to do better. I want Vince back. He ain't doing better. He's doing the exact same thing Vince did.
There's the one problem with that. The ratings are down. SmackDown only had 1 million views 2 weeks ago. The lowest rating SmackDown in history was under Triple H's reign. SmackDown is unwatchable.
Well, and again,
by the numbers, not by me.
I don't argue with you with that. But here's the point that everybody, I think, missed. Vince, what stars was Vince making? And because every time something went on, break glass for Brock, because he threw him right back in. And then on top of that, the ratings were dropping when Vince was there. Everybody
They're not as low as Triple H's ratings, though. They're lower now.
But we also have to take into effect the time that we're in, dude. Like, I mean,
hold on, guys. You guys know wrestling more. It's just so long. You know the old saying: if it's good, people will watch it. So SmackDown is barely getting over 1 million people watching it. So this is not even me saying it. According to the people, it's not that good. They're barely getting over 1 million people. And if Triple H is this genius, we should have 2-3 million people watching it. That's my point.
Here's the thing. But here's the caveat to all of that. Everybody wants to talk about how bad Triple H is doing and he's not a genius yet. But it's the same exact thing that Vince was doing, and the ratings were dropping and everything was dropping. Now, when they switched over to Netflix, it was that quick buzz, right? The ratings jumped up for a minute.
Yeah.
And they took over where they were kicking AEW's butt, right? Now we're going back to the same circle. This is the thing with wrestling. We have ebb and flows.
Yeah.
And this right now is just a flow where AEW is doing better. Now, the wrestling in general is dipping down because it's just what's happening right now. Now, I'm not saying that Vince is better or Triple H is better. I mean, because I could, but the end all be all to me is it's a flow in wrestling. And if you follow similar formulas, you're going to get the similar results. That's all that's happening right now. Now, just think if, let's just say Road Dogg, for example, he's on SmackDown, writing SmackDown.
Yeah.
When he was writing it under Vince McMahon, did it not suck then too?
Some shows did, but here's my point: is that Triple H is not creating stars. You guys couldn't even name off 5 stars he's created. He's had 2 years to do it. And my point is he needs help. Just because, don't get me wrong, Triple H is an amazing wrestler. He's an all-time great. I'm not denying his in-ring skills, but that doesn't mean he's creative. It doesn't mean he can write a show. And by watching Raw and SmackDown, I don't think he can. He needs help. He needs some writers in there. He's struggling.
Does that same way you say, the exact same thing that you said 2 years ago, when, 2.5, something like that, Vince was in trouble, right?
But Vince drew higher numbers than Triple H. I'm going by what the people do, man.
No. What I'm saying is Vince was in trouble, and the ratings were dropping down with Vince, right? Then you go look at NXT. NXT was the hottest thing going. Look at
I disagree with that.
How can you?
Because guys, you guys will say NXT is the hottest thing going. I'm not saying the show. Hold on, I'm going by the numbers here. It's not even my opinion. If 600,000-700,000 people are watching NXT and 2 million are watching Raw, NXT is not the hottest thing going. Maybe in the hardcore wrestling world, but to the average person, it's not because Raw still had higher numbers. I'm going by the numbers. It doesn't matter what I like. The numbers said Raw was better.
So if you go by the numbers,
yes,
did NXT have the exposure that WWE SmackDown Raw had?
What's that? Say that again. I didn't hear what you said. It cut out.
Okay, we're going by numbers, did NXT have the exposure and the views that Raw and SmackDown had?
What do you mean the views? They didn't.
Okay, what I mean is NXT wasn't on a big station.
No, you're right. Yeah.
So then that's why you can't just use the. And I'll tell you this after this, but you can't use just the ratings as the end all be all, because they're not. It'd be different if they had the same format. They played on the even playing field. They don't. And this is the argument that I'm having with another friend about Vince Russo as a booker. He said that he's a better booker just because the ratings were up. Well,
your friend is. I agree with your friend. Your friend is right.
You can't say somebody's better just because ratings.
Well, let me give you an example. I'm glad you brought this up. I just checked out Raw in 1999. Vince Russo draws 6 million people to Raw. Now we're getting 1.5 to 2 million to Raw. So where do those 4 million people go?
Okay, so here's the thing,
I want Bear to answer that. Where do they go, Bear? Because you know what? I can say what I like the best, but according to the numbers of the people are agreeing with me because they're shutting off the program because it's not as intriguing. It's not must-see TV anymore.
Because it was a different time. You can't compare the two times. It's different.
I'm not comparing the rest. I'm saying the numbers of people enjoyed it then.
No, but we have to take into account, like you said, like Bear's saying, it was a different time. I've said this to you so many times.
But guys,
hold on, dude. Hold on. Listen.
Okay.
1999. We didn't have the technology. We didn't have the means to consume the product the way we have now. When 6 million people sat down to watch Raw, it was hot because it was what it was at the time, right? From what they were providing, what they were giving. That demographic, us at that age, that's what we wanted to see, right? But we didn't have the means of watching it on our phone. We didn't have the means of watching it this way and that. So people had to watch it on regular TV.
So then how does the NFL grow their audience to getting 10 million people to watch Monday Night Football when back in 99 they had 2 or 3? Raw was actually beating Monday Night Football back then.
Yeah, because football was shit at the time.
Wasn't. They had lots of good players. Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders.
But the production, everything about it, people weren't interested.
So what I'm saying is you can watch football on your phone, same way we can consume wrestling.
No, now you can. At that time, you couldn't. In 99, you couldn't.
No, right now. So I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
Here's the big difference. Here's the big difference. Raw is not on regular TV anymore. How many people? I know a bunch of people who would not pay for Netflix just for Raw. I'm one of them. Now, I know I have friends and they have friends and we have ways around that, but it's not the on TV like it was. Wrestling in general, if you're going by just ratings, is a decline. Right now, we don't draw wrestling does not draw the same as back in 99.
So my question to you guys is, why is it you keep saying the times have changed? My opinion is it's not as good. And everybody that I talk to that's not in our circle, we watch it, we enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. They say it's not good. You can't tell me that you put in a guy like Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano, and the average guy in the crowd is going to look at this guy and be drawn in by them. They're not. They don't have the characters and the stars they once had because they're not creating them.
So then, if that's the case, then is that the reason why they continuously bring back all these old guys to bump up ratings and it doesn't work? Like Brock Lesnar, you see let's bring Rock in. We need a rating bump. Hey, let's get Stone Cold. We'll pay him. If that's the case, then why not just have all these old wrestlers? Why not just and a proven thing with that too is look at the last time Hulk Hogan showed his face in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He was booed up out the building. Now, times change, things change. Just like and you have a good argument. I'm not saying your argument is not good. What I'm saying is the philosophy is flawed, in my opinion, because everything changes. Just like now, I'm a 52-year-old guy. I'm not the same man than I was in 99. 99, I could stay up all night. I could, woo, Ric Flair. Man, now I got my, look, I'm gonna tell you where I'm at in life now. I have to use a cane.
Aw.
I have to beg my son to come over and move the refrigerator for me because I dropped something under there. Things change, so you can't hold the same stand. I mean, you cannot have the same argument for two different time frames because it's not.
I'm not saying, I hear what you're saying.
And I understand what you're saying.
Mhm.
Yes, like you said, in our circle, we know a lot more. We look at it differently. I still think a lot of stuff they put on suck.
Oh, yeah.
But this is just part of what we do to get to know, to have knowledge, to be able to give it to our fans and give our opinion. So we watch this stuff. Some of it is junk. Just like I told y'all before we came on. I didn't watch Raw. I had no desire to watch Raw. But I have to catch up. So when we talk about it, I have real knowledge. I don't want to be a Vince Russo talking out the side of my ass. I just don't. Because people, and going back to him real quick, because I just don't like the man. Again, in 99, at the time they were booking, they were throwing things at the wall. And it started catching on. Now, if Vince Russo was such this amazing booker, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a lot of people say he was.
Yep, me included.
Why today he's sitting out, not doing anything, and just criticizing the product? Why don't he come and save it?
Well, there's a couple things at play here. Number one, he's paid to give his, Sportskeeda pays him to watch Raw, and then he gives his opinion on it. Prior to that, for USA Network, he was a paid analyst to review Raw for USA Network, and they would tell, McMahon, this is like 2018, 2019, what he thought of it. He tried to come back. McMahon was going to bring him back in 2015, 2016. Triple H shot it down. But prior to that, I'm going to ask you a question, Bear. You're going to tell me right now that Triple H writes and books a better Raw. You give me Triple H's best, highest rated Raw, and you give me Vince Russo's highest rated Raw. If you're going to watch both shows, you're going to honestly say Triple H writes and books a better Raw than Russo ever did?
I will. And the reason I would tell you that.
Well, 5 million people are disagreeing with you on that.
Hold on. And the reason why I can tell you that, and the reason why we're having this discussion is I like the style of Triple H. He has more wrestling in it than Vince Russo ever did. Vince Russo don't give a damn about wrestling. And that's the difference. He looked at it as, wait a minute, he looked at it as entertainment. So he didn't try to.
That's what it is, Bear. Sports entertainment. Most people don't watch. You might watch for the matches. Most people watch for the moments. You don't watch for the matches. You watch for the moments.
Some people, not all fans are the same.
But Bear, 5 million people are showing up.
Hold on. Before you guys carry on, let's just remember when Vince Russo was having all the numbers and all the accolades that he was getting, it's because Vince was there.
Yeah, that helps.
Nothing that Vince Russo did would have happened if Vince McMahon did not approve it and allow it to happen.
And I was
nobody denies that.
No, pardon?
Nobody denies that. Yeah.
Okay.
Vince, hold
on. So when he left WWE, thinking I can go anywhere and write anywhere because I'm that damn good. I'm not saying he's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I can write. I get it. But what did he do in WCW then?
What did he do in TNA?
Yeah, but
What did he do? In fact, he brought the company down further because there was no one there to hold him back. Like his ideas were crap then, Matt.
But by that standard, you guys, what you just said about his ideas, what is good in TNA, it all depends on the talent that you have and the money behind you. But I'll agree with you. But you're saying Vince brought TNA down. Well, then Triple H is bringing WWE down because the numbers and ratings are going down. Road Dogg is horrible. SmackDown is unwatchable. How is he allowed to book a show when he's got the record, the lowest ratings ever? It's not good, guys. People are watching it. That's my point. No matter what I like, the people are agreeing with me because the numbers say so. That's my point.
So if and again, and this is all. I want everybody who's watching this understand this is just all our different opinions.
Yeah.
But if it's so bad and just so terrible, why are they making the most money they ever have?
Because the ticket prices of what 300%. The ticket prices are unaffordable, and Netflix and ESPN. Netflix and ESPN. Yeah, and Netflix and ESPN have overpaid for the product, and they're not getting their money back on the ratings.
But they're still making the most money they ever had as a company. So that has to say something that if it's only just okay, let's just say it's only 1 million people who are tuning in, right?
1.1 last SmackDown, yeah.
Okay. They're still paying triple the price for the stuff that was the hottest in '99, right?
Wrestling's always going to have their hardcore fan base. I'm not denying. I'm not saying they don't have fans. What I'm saying is the product is going down. And the ratings reflect that.
But they're still making more money. So
because of ESPN and Netflix, they gave them a ton of money. Yeah,
of course, it's a business. Now,
yeah, good for them. Yeah, that's good.
Right. But I guess my whole point of the whole matter is ratings are not the end all be all. It shows.
That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's a crack here in Triple H of all the praise and love. I said this on our show 2 years ago. I said it. Everybody ripped at me. Said he's not creative. He had Vince behind him. So what about NXT? It only got 600,000 to 700,000 people watching it. People might have loved it, but not enough people watched it for whatever the reason, the exposure. So we can't judge him on NXT because he was drawing AEW Dynamite numbers. It doesn't matter. He's at the big leagues now. That's the minor leagues, and he's not cutting it.
He's doing something. If they're still making this money, they're doing
because
something.
Because of ESPN. I get it. Because of ESPN and Netflix have paid him.
But it's a business deal.
No, I agree. But when people stop watching it, they're not going to get it. That's what I'm saying. It's trending down.
Yeah, it's trending down, but they still have these companies coming after them. And you name me one company out there that will throw money at something that they think is crap.
Well, they thought they were going to get higher numbers to get a better return on their investment. ESPN and Netflix. You saw ESPN what they wrote. They gave the show a C. That's the first show.
And honestly, I think it deserved a D. But
I agree. Yeah.
But they were honest. They were honest about what they saw. Now let's see what happens the next time.
And let's keep in mind that Triple H, not like, I mean, it is what it is, but Triple H has an RE and a Mark Shapiro breathing down his neck. Vince didn't have anyone breathing down his neck. Vince could do whatever he wanted to do. There's so many rules and regulations on what Triple H can produce and this and that.
Well, according to Triple H, that's not true because he said in many press conferences, and thank God they stopped those press conferences because he was horrible in those. But he says, Ari and Mark, they give me the freedom to book the show how I want. They step back. This is the Paul Levesque era, he's told you. And I think Triple H's ego is getting to his head. And what I mean by that, he narrates all the videos now. He opens up WrestleMania. He inducts his wife into the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying Steph doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but it's just so much nepotism going on with this guy. He's got Road Dogg writing the show. He's got all of his buddies there. It's not working, and he needs to switch it up.
It's funny that you say nepotism, but Vince did the exact.
Oh yeah, no, I said it 100 times. McMahon hired Triple H and to be creative because he married his daughter. I totally agree.
Shane, Stephanie.
Yeah. Oh, Vince did it too. I agree. Yep.
And I guess why I'm going so hard about the whole discussion is, yes, I again that ratings mean a lot. They do, but just ratings does not put the end all be all on who's a better booker or not. There's multiple different factors with that. And I think sometimes as wrestling fans, of course, we're going to not agree on everything and go back and forth. But
That's
I
what makes the
think
show fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we get too caught up of everything we say is right. Now, again, now with my entire argument I've given you right now, do I think that I'm 100% right? I don't, but I think I have some good points. I think you have some good points. I think that we have to look at things and look at the entire dynamic. And like with Triple H, I see people going at him left and right. Oh, we want Vince back. We want Vince back. Do y'all remember the time Vince would book the same matches for 6 straight weeks? Do you remember the times when Vince would tear up storylines an hour before the show?
You know why? You know why? You know why people are saying that? I'm one of them. I'll tell you why. Raw and SmackDown are predictable now. We can pretty much watch every pay per view. We're going to get 9 out of 10 matches right, whatever, 4 out of 5. It's too predictable. Triple H is booking safe. He's not taking chances. Vince rip up those scripts. He's taking a chance. He didn't like what he saw. It keeps people on their toes. Now everybody says the morale backstage is better. Okay, that sounds great because Daddy's gone. Vince built this mansion. Daddy's gone. Triple H is a cool brother. Hey, do what you guys want. If you screw up, we're not going to reprimand you. I'm not going to grill you. We're a cool, fun place. And you see that in the product. There's always been flubs. There's a lot of botches out there now. The whole thing that happened with the referee thing was that SmackDown. If that would happen on Vince, somebody would have been fired. There's no accountability now. And when Daddy's gone, the kids want to play and goof around, and you can see it in the product.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you to that. But then at the same time, when Vince brought that kind of mentality, look. While you guys were talking here, and this is great for me because my voice is really taking a break.
And this is what makes it fun. It's fun to have a good debate. It's all
no, it's fun. But
let's
let's look at it this way, okay? I had a thought here because I could actually sit here and think. In 1999, a wagon wheel was this big.
Mm-hmm.
You remember those treats, the wagon wheels?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, they were this big.
Mm-hmm.
Now a wagon wheel is this big in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the evolution of products right across the board everywhere, man. You look at cars. A car from 1999 does not stand up against a car in 2025 in terms of the technology, in terms of everything. Same with television, same with the product, same with sports. Athletes of 1999, you take the best team of 1999 against the best team of 25, 25 should technically kick their ass, right? Just because they're faster, they're quicker, they're everything. Same with wrestling, in my opinion. I'm not denying either point that you guys are making, right? This is one of those debates that nobody can win because you're not wrong, Bear's not wrong, I'm not wrong. We're just all here with our own different takes. Now, you're basing everything off of ratings. What we're trying to do is base it off the actual product itself, and that's the issue that we're having with ratings themselves. Like we talked about, Nielsen's changed everything now. Okay, because the way everyone consumes stuff, bro, this is the point. We're not getting the same numbers on TV that we like. Okay, if MASH was on today, that television show MASH was on today, I guarantee you they would not have had 18 million people watching the finale.
But they'd outdraw Raw and SmackDown, I'll tell you that.
No, but dude, it's because of how they consume stuff now. We got to take all of that into account.
But I get what you're saying. You can
how do we know that? Like, I'm pretty sure, bro. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that we had more than 1 million people watch that SmackDown, but not necessarily on USA.
Well, right? Then that's the thing, though. So if people are stealing cable, IPTVs, and you love a product, you're hurting the product. So my question for you guys, and nobody's ever been able to answer this: where did the 5 million people go? And just by looking at it unbiased, they're turning it off because it's not as good as it used to be. Wrestling is best when it's based in reality. When you have a guy like Johnny Gargano or Sami Zayn beating up Drew McIntyre, it's not realistic. You can't relate to that, and people get sick of it and turn it off. Just for example,
the main solution. Sorry, Bear. My solution: you get rid of the PG rating and you go back to 14. That's the answer.
But you got to have the people backstage to write it. The people backstage are not writing an intriguing show. Vince McMahon always said it. He said it best. If it's good, I don't care. We'll go against Monday Night Football. If it's good, people will watch it. And that's just how I see it too.
I just want to touch on something you said, that Johnny Gargano or Sami Zayn couldn't beat Drew. It's not realistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just like saying you couldn't beat me. I'm 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
I'm 300 pounds. How tall are you?
5'9.5", 5'10".
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it just in appearances alone, you would think I should be able to just wipe the floor with you, right?
Okay.
Okay, but it's not. Nobody knows I got 2 replaced hips. I had back surgery. I have.
Stop dropping the leg, Bear.
I have so many different elements to me that factor in a fight with you. And so even though it looks one way, doesn't mean it's not realistic. And that's what I'm saying. Not every big guy is going to be the small guy.
No, and I agree with that. But I'm just saying.
Here's another example. Here's another example, very quickly. In real fighting, Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, took out a 300-pound jiu-jitsu guy. Equal playing field. He beat him. That dude's 135 pounds.
I know, but when you have a guy, I'm going to pick on Sami Zayn because he's fairly popular to a point. When you have a guy like
American
him,
guy, man, he's Canadian.
When you have a guy out there, he's pale. He looks like a homeless guy, right? He comes out, he's greasy, his hair's wet, and you're going to expect the regular Joe in the crowd who could beat up a guy like a Sami Zayn or Johnny Gargano to take them seriously. You have to have larger than life characters and superstars.
Okay, so let's look at it
from good for the hardcore fan base. They're not good for the casual fan. Without the casual fan, the ratings go down. That's my point. Doesn't matter what I like.
Let's look at it from the other perspective then. Okay, fine. The big guy in the crowd's going to look at Sami Zayn and go, "What the hell is this?" But the guys that look like Sami Zayn in the crowd get confidence because they feel, "Hey,
those guys that look like." But those, you're right. And those guys that look like Sami Zayn, guess what? They're the hardcore fans for the most part. They're always going to tune in no matter what you put out there. My point is, you got to bring the casual fans back into wrestling so people can watch and get the ratings up. And they're not drawing them in. That's my point.
Oh, and that's a valid point, man. And and that's on them as well. Like, I mean, we've been hammering this point across the board on our show with the main event round table as well. That look, they need to start pushing the talent. Like, we're in a transitional phase, right? Like, Bear, we talked about this on the No Cell, right? Like, how many generations have we gone through, you and I alone, where this has happened? We've watched this happen time and time again, where you get the transition of Hulk Hogan to Bret Hart to this guy, then to this guy, to John Cena, etc., etc. I think the unfortunate part that we're facing right now is like you guys have said earlier on in the show, on either brand, there is no one there to challenge anybody at the top levels. There isn't, right? The closest guy that we have on Raw right now is Braun Breaker, but they're taking their time with him to build him up the right way. I get that, but maybe they need to think about it a little bit more. Yeah, they're running out the older guys a lot more, but because that's just what they did. Like, look at John Cena. Whenever there was a problem after he left from 2015 till now, in the last 10 years, you were at SummerSlam in Vegas, right, Trent?
Yeah, 2021, yeah.
Right, in 2021. Cena wasn't really around, but you told me yourself 60% of that stadium was in green shirts.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, until they can stop relying on these guys and actually let these younger, and we're seeing that more. Let's not say they're not doing it. Okay, like even on Raw last night, I mean, more and more of the younger talent is starting to emerge now. Granted, Nikki Bella was involved in one of the matches, but that's understandable. I like the fact that Lyra is under the tutelage of Bayley because she really needs that veteran support, and you can tell how it's actually changing the character and changing her in-ring work ability as well. So you got these mentors with some of these younger guys and girls, and you're starting to see that. So we're seeing that. Like, look, for example, how many years for the last 5-6 years, every women's title match was either Charlotte versus Sasha, Becky versus this, Becky versus Charlotte, blah blah blah. It was always 5 or 6 girls only. We're getting a Jade Cargill versus Tiffany, Tiffany time match here on Saturday night's main event. That's different,
and
right?
they're younger, and it's and you have you have a good point with that. I guess my issue with the whole thing is you have some of these guys and girls that have been sitting on the sideline. Only thing they're doing is catering. Like, where the hell have the Creed brothers been?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because I thought about that last night myself. Where the hell are these Creed guys, right? Like
I
even
don't know.
Ivy Niles not even around. Okay, so I thought,
Yeah,
oh wait a minute. When I was watching SmackDown, or sorry, when I was watching Raw last night at 11 o'clock at night, that damn baseball game went too long. Um, um, when I was watching that, oh, I lost my train of thought here. What was I saying?
Yeah, so the Creed brothers, where are they?
All right, the Creed brothers. I thought, okay, maybe they're the America Grande guys, the tag team. You know who those guys are under the mask?
Who?
Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates.
yeah.
I had to research. I didn't even think about it because I just thought automatically it was Brutus and his brother. I just
Oh,
automatically assumed.
well, see, I knew because their bill wasn't the
And you
same.
know what, Blair? I didn't even take that into account. I just automatically assumed, okay, Chad's out. These guys will join up with him and, kind of carry on that way. I didn't realize it was Bates. And then that made me wonder, well, shit, what happened to Bates and Dunn? We haven't seen those guys in a while either. Well, there they are.
I don't think that it's not that they don't want to bring up the young stars, young talent and use them. It's that they don't have people to write for them and make them the stars, so they can't bring them up the ladder because they're done. The writing is so bad. They're
Okay,
not
so
creating these characters.
Trans, where do you get these writers from? Who in your okay? If you're sitting at the desk, okay, and you're interviewing potential writers, what are you looking for then? Who do you go to?
Somebody that's creative, somebody that can think outside the box. You can't have Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the Road Dogg. They know how to book for themselves. They're super creative. They're super talented when they're wrestling. But when they're actually booking shows for the masses to watch, they're stuck in their wrestling bubble. Triple H, people said McMahon's outdated. Go watch Raw and SmackDown. Road Dogg and Triple H are so detached from reality. They don't have any reality-based storylines. It's hard to connect to it. And I would hire somebody that's creative. Super creative that can think outside the box. Because Triple H, like you said, Bear, and I said this for years, he got the job through nepotism. If he didn't marry Stephanie McMahon, he'd be another retired legend on a Legends deal. Because he married the boss's daughter, Vince gave him a spot. A huge mistake that I think Vince made by doing that.
So, to be fair, Triple H was already involved in production and all that stuff before he married Steph.
Without he marrying Steph, he'd have been long gone, dude. We all
Vince
know
was
that.
Vince was grooming him before that.
Not at this kind of level. He had his input, but he married the boss's daughter. It was a smart play. I don't blame the guy. But my point is, they need to have better writers to help him out because he doesn't know what he's doing.
So where do these writers come from then, dude? Like, okay, look who owns the company. You got the two biggest Hollywood producers
exactly
running it. So why aren't they stepping in and trying to better their product? I mean, TKO is complaining that they're losing money hand over fist with WWE, even though if you look at their ledger, it's beautifully done. You know what I mean? It's just like there's no red in that ledger at all. So where they're losing all this money?
They're booking the show safe. They're not taking any chances. They're giving us CM Punk. Again, the guy's 47, 48. He can barely move. Great. He's popular. He's a great character. I'm not denying that. Do we really need to see CM Punk again all the time out there? Can't we bring somebody else up? The reason why they can't is they can't create that new guys to bring up. They're having a hard time. So.
Well, I mean, look, guys, we can go back and forth. We can spend an hour just going on this over and over and over again. And I love you guys. I don't want to talk to my wife.
It's good though, man, because you know what I like about this debate is that most wrestling shows in our realm, they don't debate.
No, right? They don't.
It's 2 or 3 guys sitting there praising Raw, praising SmackDown, telling you why we love wrestling. Right? This is a good debate because it has all different sides and angles, and we're all throwing it on the table, and people can decide who's right and who's wrong.
And dude, and that's what makes Samp and Chance a great show is the fact that we're different from other wrestling shows. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I love the product. You fight the product. We go back and forth, but at the end of the day, I'll still buy you a cheeseburger, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's all in good fun. It's all
it is what it is, and we're not afraid. Like I love wrestling more than anybody. You know, maybe not as much as Bear, but no. You know what? I think Bear and I are pretty much
No,
on
I think you got Bear beat.
no, I don't know. I think Bear and I are on the same field, man. I mean, there's
Bear's more
places.
critical of it. I've never heard you criticize once. Bear's criticized it 5 times. I've never heard you criticize Triple H once. Tell me
I,
one. Tell me one bad thing that he does booking that you don't agree with on Triple H. What should he do better, according to you?
according to me,
Mhm.
I think he should have better control of his producers and his producers, the guys that are working with the talent, right? But I mean, Triple H is involved in a lot of it, right? I get what you're saying, dude. You know what I mean? Um, it is what it is. I mean, what can you do? The product is what it is. I tell you honestly, the biggest solution, the quickest solution is you get rid of that PG rating and you go back to 14. People will start coming back. I guarantee it. Those people that you're talking about aren't coming back because there aren't bra and panty matches anymore. You don't have Miss Kitty showing her tits on screen anymore. You don't have the live sex show with Edge and Lita anymore. You know what I mean? Like everything changed after they went PG. And
And look at this too. They're corporate. This is not a family ran business anymore.
That's why
They
they
have
changed it. We went public. Yeah.
they have to answer to other people. Just think, and one of the great examples I will give y'all real quick. Just think, remember when the women's battle royal for WrestleMania was going to be named Moolah?
yeah,
And people lost their mind and Snickers like, either you change the name or we're taking our money out.
yeah,
They quickly changed the name.
to me,
That's the difference between then and now. They could do whatever they chose to do. Now, as a lot of people say, there's always a higher boss you have to answer to. And that's what WWE is now. It's not the same. You have somebody you got to answer to and don't know wrestling or don't even care to know wrestling. As long as it makes money, makes them money and get their advertisement out, that's all they care about.
and the other piece here as well is like a lot of the people that were watching in 99, including all of us, we really didn't like. I think a lot of the casual fans wouldn't really enjoy what the women are doing today, unless you're an actual wrestling fan, because that's not what they were used to. They were used to chocolate pudding matches. Remember those? Like, I mean, that's what they were into. That's what people were tuning into. It wasn't because it was they were using
Exactly. It's for the moments, not for the matches. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying at that bra and panty match. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
No, I get that, but
I'm not saying go back to 99's type of wrestling. What I'm saying is a lot of people turn off the product. NFL is growing their product numbers. We're losing our numbers, and nobody can say why. That's what I want to know why.
I think why. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if you really want the why is that the generation today has a short attention span, and wrestling doesn't catch the casual fan. If it doesn't catch them, they're gone. Now, with your argument, you like, well, the NFL numbers going up because it's action. You can always turn on a football game and see something that will capture you and keep you entertained.
And it's only there for 4 months.
Exactly.
Once a week.
That's where all the other sports have an advantage. You can't see it all year round. And they're quick. If you change the channel, turn back, you're gonna miss something that you going to ESPN to watch because it was a great moment. It's our
and if you look at football as well, we're using the example of American football, dude. Like we're saying, like I said, it's only around for 4 or 5 months, and you only get 2 days a week of it, if that, right?
But remember, though, guys, there was a time for years. There was a time for years when WWE, when Vince wanted to do head-to-head with Monday Night Football, he was kicking their butts for many, many years. So something has changed. Yeah, you could say the new generation, but here's the thing: you just said it there. NFL is nonstop action. Agreed. But you turn on Raw, it's not always nonstop action. So we have to have shorter segments, shorter matches, and have more must-see TV, and people will come back.
Yeah, and maybe they need to change their formula a little bit, perhaps. I mean, they could throw stuff, try different things.
I want to play, before we wrap this up, I want to play a little fun game with you guys. I'm going to throw out some names to you guys, okay? And I want you guys to give me your opinion. Just give me 1 or 2 words to when I throw out these names. You guys ready?
Go for it.
There, I'll start with you. Tony Khan.
Underrated.
3. Samson, Tony Khan.
Mark.
Okay. Bear, Vince Russo.
Prick.
Bobby, Vince Russo.
Delusional.
Okay.
That
Okay,
was a nice way of putting that.
Sorry?
I said that was a nice way of putting that.
I mean, I take nothing
hold on,
away.
you know what? You know what's so funny?
I take nothing away from Vince Russo. Like he's
Mhm.
accomplished what he has, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I know what he's doing too. He's saying the things he's saying for
Ratings.
the ratings. I get it.
It's all about the ratings, guys. It's all
I
it's
get
about.
it. I get it. I
Okay,
get it.
next one. Let's keep moving forward here. Bear, this is for his booking only, not his career. This is
Okay.
booking. Triple H.
He underappreciated.
Okay, Bobby, Triple H.
I'm going to be completely fair. Underwhelming.
Okay, this one's for you here, Mr. Bear. Jim Cornette.
Funny as hell.
Yeah, agreed. Samson, Jim Cornette.
Fucking cheeseburger. Love him.
Last one, boys. Last one. For you, Bear. Vince McMahon.
Overrated.
Samson, Vince McMahon.
Legend.
Yeah. My comment on Vince McMahon, the most creative, genius, and the best thing that ever happened in wrestling, Vince McMahon. That's my take.
Fair enough. I
You
mean,
wouldn't be sitting here without him.
I was gonna say legend or wrestling. Like, and I mean, just he encompasses wrestling. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean,
And I feel like no matter where you stand with him, wrestling would not be where it is without him.
no, it wouldn't be. None of it would be. None of us.
I got one more question for you guys. One more question for you guys. So we all know Vince's accomplishments. He created WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. Nobody's done what he's done. Nobody ever will. What is Triple H's greatest accomplishment as a booker, Bear, according to you?
Greatest compliment
as a booker, Triple H.
NXT.
Samson.
Yeah, I would have to say NXT, bro.
Okay, fair enough. I'm out of a question, boys.
Yeah.
The reason why I like to ask you guys these questions about Vince Russo and Triple H, because there's a huge divide in the wrestling community, right? You got the Triple H, guys. You got the Vince Russo guys. You got guys in the middle. So I like to come into your guys' world and try to see why Triple H has so much love, because I still don't get it as a booker.
And again, I understood where you were going with the questions. My thing is, and this is me, I'm different to the fact of I'm not about the entertainment. I'm about wrestling. That's where I grew up with. That's what I look at wrestling for. Anybody can come in and have a hot run and book things. And I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm not saying none of that. But what I'm saying is wrestling has an ebb and flow. If you go back and look at what wrestling used to do in the 40s and the 50s, they were hot, but at the time, and a lot of people believe wrestling to be real. Yeah. So it flowed, then it dropped. Then in the 80s with Vince starting to take over places and do things, it got hot again. It got extremely hot. Then it dropped down when the scandals and stuff. Then let's say the NWO, the Attitude Era, it blew up. It was bigger than ever before. Yep. Then after all that happened, it went back down. You had people walking away from it. Then you had the end of the Cena era. You had where the Bullet Club came out of nowhere. It started peaking a little bit. Then Tony Khan started AEW. It got hot again. People started back to, oh hell, we got a war. Yeah. So my point is there's ebb and flows to anything. Right now.
So Bear, I have one last question for you. I got to answer this one because I agree with you about Tony Khan. Who do you think is a better booker right now? Who books a better show today? Triple H or Tony Khan, in your opinion?
I would say Tony Khan, but I'm kind of biased to be
Well, I'm gonna
truthful
say I'd say Triple H.
Why are you biased? What's the bias?
because I like um, Tony Khan's formula. He's more old school of a booker, and that's why I'm biased towards him. That's the style I like.
I'm one of the few guys. Well, I'm one of the few guys. I try to talk about AEW every show I do, just because I don't want to see WWE homers. You know what I mean? Shining
No, no,
Triple H's shoes. I like to bring some AEW because they are doing good things. I like Kyle Fletcher. I like Will Ospreay. They got some good talent over there. So I like to try to bring it up if I can.
Yeah, yeah. And if you look at AEW, if we're going to talk about it very quickly here, I think the reason I chose Triple H over Tony Khan is because there is more continuity. As bad as you may think they are or whatever, you could still know what's going on from episode to episode. Where if you don't pay attention to what's happening on AEW, things change week to week. It's like,
But to Bear's point, Tony Khan is not. Triple H is a little more on the entertainment side. Tony
yeah.
Khan's a little more old school.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah,
more
yeah,
about the
yeah,
matches.
yeah. No,
So.
I get that. Okay, listen, guys, we're running out of
Yeah.
time here. We got to wrap this baby up. So why don't we just do quick predictions here?
Yeah.
Get this show wrapped up here, and we'll call it a night. So let's start with Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Universal title on the line. What do you guys got here? I will probably say, you know what? I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre. I think it's time. If we're gonna shake stuff up, let's do it.
Bear, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Cody. I would I would love for Drew to get it. I think it'd be the best booking decision, but I think they will stick with Cody for a little while longer, especially with the self and all that taking place.
All right, fair enough.
I want Drew to win. He's one of my favorites, but it's not going to happen. Like Bear just basically said it best. Cody's going to win.
All right. Now, everyone's favorite match here, I'm assuming CM Punk versus Jey Uso. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go pretty simple here. I think the safe bet, CM Punk, he gets the title. And the reason he's going to get it, again, completely financial. It has nothing to do with the man's capabilities. It's the numbers that he will draw as champion and the money that he will bring in that way until they can figure out what they want to do with Braun. That's my take.
I think it's going to be CM Punk too. I think another reason why is because they've started heating up the Jay and Jimmy thing again.
They hugged it out last night, by the way.
Huh?
They hugged it out last night, by the way.
Yeah. So they're going to turn around. Jay is going to stab him in the back again, and Jimmy's going to get sick of it. They want him to be a uber face because of his wife being pregnant. This is one of the best times they hadn't did anything with him. It's time to go with him.
Well, then Jimmy has to cost him the title then somehow.
No, let him lose it and let him blame Jimmy, and Jimmy is not Jimmy's fault. I think.
Potential chance.
Yeah, I know. CM Punk's winning this. I feel bad for Jay in a sense that he got a little bit of short end of the stick. He should have been champion for a little bit longer. That Yeet thing was super popular. How do I know? I go to the elementary schools. I saw a bunch of kids wearing Yeet. They cut him a little short. So, but CM Punk wins.
Fair enough. All right. Tiffany Stratton against the new evil Jade Cargill, which I think is a better character for her because I remember her work in AEW as a heel. So much better as a heel than a face. I think one Knoxville, Tennessee lady should be coming back pretty soon. Her fingers should be healed up. So if that's the case, this is perfect. I say give it to Jade. I think as much as I like Tiffany Stratton, I think she's starting to get a little stale. And why not? Let's put it on Jade. And that will set us up for her and Bianca.
Definitely going to be Jade. A lot of people don't realize this, but Tiffany was never meant to be a face.
No, she's a better heel.
Yes, and this will help her get back to being a heel if they create some real faces for her to fight. That's one of their issues, but that I'm not going to go into any of that. I'm going with Jade though.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, on the SmackDown side, we are getting Kiana James now. We're getting Julia as well. So, I mean, we are getting new faces emerging as we're going along.
Yeah, but they're all heels.
No, I get that. But eventually one of them will turn on someone, right? All right.
Right.
in my opinion, probably one of the bright
Oh,
lights.
Chance.
Chance,
Yeah,
sorry. Did you
You're
pick?
right. Tiffany's stale. It's
Yeah.
getting a little boring. It's time to give Jade a chance. I hope Jade wins, and I think she will. I like her character.
She looked great as a heel, man. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
something emerged when she turned. Like she looked stronger. She looked 50
Yeah.
times better than she did in the whole time that she's been there.
Mm-hmm.
It felt natural for her.
baby. Go with
Right?
the AEW, Jade.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, based on that alone, her character just multiplied in terms of, oh wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like her anyway. So this is perfect.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Now, probably one of the brightest lights in the company right now, regardless of what people may think or not, but Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom. The fans are chanting his name even when he's not in the ring, literally. Right? Backstage vignettes, you hear them, Dirty, Dirty Dom. Like, everybody loves this guy. 5 years ago to where he is now, you can't tell me that this man has really, really evolved into what, and I don't think he's done. I don't think he's done.
No.
So Dominic is defending his Intercontinental title after screwing himself over again last night. Now it's a triple threat match. It was just supposed to be him and Rusev. Now it's Penta, Rusev, and Dominic in a triple threat for the Intercontinental title. So just to give people a bit of context on this, for who don't know what happened last night, Dominic was saying to his buddies in the Judgment Day, who are no longer his friends, hey, I need help. This is going, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. He gets on the phone, and next thing you know, you get the Americana crew in the crowd, into the ring, causing havoc. Turns into a triple threat match. I think Dom walks away with this somehow again. You don't take it off him right now. He's the best thing going with the belt.
Honestly, I would take it off of him because with or without the title, Dom is not going to be stopped. Plus, he got the AAA Mega Championship, and you can do so much with him there.
No, I get that, but right now there's no gold in the Judgment Day except him, so you keep all the gold on him, I think.
Well, see, and that's the reason why I say take it off, because one, you can give Rusev something to do, and I think he'd be great. What they need to do is get Penta and Ray Phoenix together. Stop coming up with the bootleg tag team partner for Ray Phoenix. Give him his brother and put them on Raw, because Raw has no tag teams, and let them go to work.
Andrade's gone, but Santos Escobar should be making his return very shortly, so maybe that'll be his new partner. Chance, who do you got in this, man? You guys, so who are you picking, Penta or Rusev there?
Rusev.
Okay. Chance?
Dirty Dom is the best character they have on Raw and SmackDown. He's a great character. Is he a good wrestler? No, he's not. He's skinny, he's wimpy, but that's what makes him so intriguing. And does anybody know why he has his hair and mustache like that? You guys know why he's doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So people think Eddie's my dad, right? So he does these little things that, he's a great entertainer, man. I don't really care about the in-ring work. If you're a good entertainer, that's what matters. People love the guy. I know what Bear's saying. He doesn't need to win this. And a belt won't matter for Dom. He's still entertaining. So,
and that's saying something about a guy who, what I mean? Like, I mean, you don't even need to put a belt on the guy. He'll still be a good guy.
Yeah, he is, because I think he's the best character they got. I think they start bringing Dom
tattoo up. I don't know if he must have got this recently. He's got a luchador mask tattoo on his neck now.
Yeah, he got that last couple of weeks.
Honestly, Dom is one of the guys they got to start bringing up the ladder a little bit. Get him out of the mid card and start bringing him the upper echelon match, because he's that entertaining.
Yeah, I know, and he's there. And I'll be honest, man. If you're thinking about it,
I think Dom's going to win because on Saturday's main event is to keep the eyeballs on and keep him hot. But and Rusev, I don't know why they brought him back. Can't stand the guy. Personally.
Fair enough. All right, guys. I tell you what, we're gonna wrap this up here. We've been going back and forth. This is an amazing show. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. So my name, Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to WSN and Samp and Chance, we salute you.
We do salute you. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, we got the great Professor Bear here. Thank you again, sir, for hopping on. I know you got 2 a days, 3 days here nowadays, in terms of the amount of stuff that you guys are putting out. And if you guys want to watch all that amazing content, all the amazing interviews, and if you want to hear things about wrestling, that don't necessarily pertain to the two biggest companies, you got to come and check out the WSN network, man. We cover everything from local wrestling to independent wrestling, documentaries, you name it. And like we were saying, you can get any kind of podcast that you're looking for. You're looking for homers? I'm sure we got some over there. You're looking for guys that are like us and willing to really challenge the company and the business, then you got us, right? So there's something.
Or if you're looking for the best laugh in the business, Professor Bear, hands down, best laugh.
I appreciate that.
This is true, man. And to be fair, Bear, he's been saying it for the last 2 years or last year.
And it's fun. Let me say this. It's funny when you sent me a message, Chad, and you wrote that. I'm like, it's been you all this time saying I have the best.
Exactly, buddy. Working there. That's what I love is entertainment, man. That's my favorite part about this all.
Well, real quick, the app is down. It will be back in December because we have moved to a different streaming service that is a lot better. We're going to get a lot more stuff. So please be patient. December, we're going to come back firm with that app.
And also, just remember, ladies and gentlemen, I am your current two-time WrestleBrania champion. Unfortunately, I didn't get my flowers the second time around, Bear, but that's okay. So have you guys done episode 3 yet?
No, we're technical difficulties, but it's coming soon.
Hey, Bear, off the air, send me your mailing address. I want to send you a shirt.
Oh man, cool. Yeah,
I don't know if you'll wear it, but I'm gonna send it to you. You'll get a laugh out of it when you open it up.
All right.
I promise you that.
Cool.
Sounds awesome. Sounds good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Samp and Chance with Professor Bear, Samp and Chance podcast, WSN Network. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you keep working hard, if you just put the time in 20 minutes a day, you will be great at whatever you want to accomplish. Remember the key word, you. You have to do it. No one's going to do it for you. And anyone who tries to stand in your way, anyone who tries to tell you it's wrong or this is bad, fuck them. Plain and simple. Samp and Chance and Professor Bear, WSN, we are out.